Hello, welcome to the last edition of Sports This Morning for the year 2014. Thanks for joining me. My name is Austin Okonakwan. 2014 has given us so much to talk about, and we'll be reliving the moments since about last week, and today gives us a final opportunity to wrap up what 2014 did for sports, not just in Nigeria, but all over the world. But let's stay in Nigeria and relive some of the moments that got us talking in the year 2014. What a year it has been for us. We'll begin right here at Channels Television. Who remembers the Channels National Kids Cup? It wasn't just a competition for the kids. It was a competition geared at discovering talents, not just discover them, monitor them, and ensure that they are developed. Now we went down to the primary school level, where we believe is the right place to start when talking about nurturing and discovering talent. Toybat Nursery and Primary School won the 6th edition of the Channels National Kids Cup. They didn't just win it. It was an emotional victory for the Toybat team after that marathon penalty kick with Ebutemeta Primary School. They emerged winners of the Channels National Kids Cup. And for us at Channels Television, it was such a delight seeing those kids showing their raw talent and the enthusiasm that they have to play football. We will not stop. We'll continue with the Channels National Kids Cup. On the national level, there is a girl called Blessing Okagbare. She is indeed a national blessing to this country. We can't stop talking about Blessing Okagbare and all that she did for Nigeria in the year 2014. Was it at the Diamond League, the 2014 Commonwealth Games, and how she showed the world that talents are in this country. She is indeed a national blessing. And we'll still stay with the women. They didn't do so badly. When football was struggling in this country, the women stepped up. The Falconers, they gave all they could, but they could only finish as runners-up at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. The Super Falcons, we know they are dominant in Africa, and they're still dominant. They went on to win the Africa Women's Championship right there in Namibia. The women gave football the sweet part of the story for 2014. Aside from what the women produced, you know the other side. From court cases to the leadership crisis to the shocker of the Super Eagles failing to qualify for next year's African Cup of Nations that will take place in Equatorial Guinea. So you see, the women are doing their own bits to ensure that we keep smiling when talking about football. Sports This Morning on Channels Television. Once again, we invite you to be part of the show. We're taking a look at some of those moments that got us talking in the year 2014. Today is the last day in the year 2014, and we believe that it has been a fantastic year for sports, and you deserve to see some of those moments. We spoke about Toybat Nursery and Primary School. We'll talk about them later on the program, but let's relive the moments and bring you the top 10 goals from the 6th edition of the Channels National Kids Cup. We had so much fun. I'm sure you have fun watching these kids play football. Let's take a look at how those guys showed their skills, scored great goals. They cried, they laughed, they danced. It was indeed a tournament to remember. Let's take a look and then we'll come back. We'll talk. Stay with us. What a goal. That's the kind of goal you see Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo score, and then these guys produced the same moments for us. Big ups to every school, every child that took part at the 6th edition of the Channels National Kids Cup. You guys truly deserve my salute. Good moments for 2014 right there, talking about the Channels National Kids Cup. We saw the guys from Delta, from Nana Private School, the guys from Kaduna Research Model. It was 12 Apostles, IMG Oyo. It's called Stunning Goals also. Ebute Meta Primary School, they made it to the final but couldn't beat Toibat Nursery and Primary School. And then you also, how can I forget the name? Adetoro Ibukun. Ibukun Adetoro was a fine footballer, captain of Dr. Teslim Elias. Good player anytime, any day. Keep an eye on these guys. You might just be seeing the next generation of superstars in this country. And the Channels National Kids Cup is ready to keep doing all we can to ensure that we discover this talent. I just remembered my friend Olumide Oshino of Unifrance Nursery and Primary School. We cannot wait. We're getting ready for the 7th edition of the Channels National Kids Cup. Last day of 2014, 2015, we promise that the competition will be bigger and better. Sports this morning on Channels Television, the last edition for the year 2014. I'm excited, turbocharged to talk about this. And what a way to start with the kids. And I'm sure somebody is also excited and wants to talk to us. Yes, you can. On Twitter, we're Channels_sports. And on Facebook, we're Channels-sports. It's Sports this morning on Channels Television. What do you want to talk to us? What has been your 2014 sporting moment all across the world? What sporting moments got you talking? For me, Jules Bianchi had that terrible accident, but I'm excited that today he is getting better. Let's also remember Michael Schumacher also had a skin accident. Long road to recovery for him, but with our prayers in 2015, miraculously, he might just get back to life again and keep being the Schumacher we used to know. Tayo Salam joins us now. Tayo, good to have you on the program.
Yeah, Austin, it's great to be here. I'm very excited like you are. Last day of the year, I feel really blessed. And Austin, there were actually a lot of great sporting moments for 2014, but for us personally, at Channels Television,
That's it right
there's
there.
no doubt, make no mistake about it, that was the greatest moment for us. The Channels Kids Cup, incredible football played by the young guys there. And if you're having a look at the goals again, incredible goals, assorted mix of goals scored by these young players, and you wonder to yourself sometimes, like, where did they get the time to actually come up with those kind of goals? Because in Nigeria, there's really no structure for all these kids to learn their trade. They learn it on the streets, and thank God for now Channels and National Kids Cup. We've been able to see the kind of talents that they possess. And the top goal scored by that guy from Ibadan Municipal.
Ayomide Adeshino.
Oh my goodness.
From Ibadan Municipal
What a
Primary
strike.
School.
What a strike.
Tayo.
Yeah.
First touch,
Took
West
it.
my opponents,
Yes.
get out of the way.
And as they put it in the far corner, and you thought that was Lionel Messi in
Right
Nigeria.
there.
But then it shows you the amount of talent and the kind of talents we have in this country. I don't want to go into the nurture versus nature debates. All I know is if you've got talents in the country, you should be able to put a proper structure in place for them to develop into professional players. It really pains me to know that Nigeria hasn't really produced a genuine world-class player. Yeah, you might disagree with me, but that's my opinion. I think the closest to that, the closest to that has to be Kanu Nwankwo. Kanu Nwankwo, I remember, came 6th in the World Footballer of the Year awards in 1996. That's the closest we've had. And you can argue that Kanu Nwankwo is a world-class talent, but then did he really develop to be that world-class superstar from Nigeria? I really don't think so. Same goes for Okocha, world-class talent as well. So, but it wasn't really, you wouldn't really say it was a superstar. And that's because the structure was never in place for these guys to get to the very top of the game. They also their way to the top. That's why I really respect them and their achievements.
Tayo just said something very, very important, the structure. And that's what we keep saying right here on Channels Television. When we have the right structure in place for football to be developed in this country, it will be developed. You've seen these guys play football, some of them 8, 9, 10, 11.
Kids.
And we have them on video. So if this guy gets to play for the Super Eagles tomorrow, there can't be any controversy over his age because we're going to bring out these videos.
Exactly, and that's one part we need to work on in 2015. I'm talking of the authorities in charge of the game in the country. They really need to ensure that there are proper and very quality structures for these guys to come out and play the game. So they can achieve, a lot of them have aims and goals of being professional players. Make no mistake about that. Even the ones we saw at Channels and Kids Cup, they just need a platform to enable them to achieve their dreams.
I totally agree with you. And as you say this thing, it just gets in me. I feel my passion burning to do all we can do in our own little way to ensure that we correct these things. Because names just started coming to mind. Tayo, Xavi, we've seen him play forever. Messi, we've seen him play forever. Cristiano Ronaldo, and just 27, 28. Sex Fabregas, we saw him play as a kid. We saw him go to Arsenal, did internship, went to Barcelona, played there. He's right now playing fantastic football in Chelsea. You can't get tired of him because the structure has been put in place to have him grow to the ranks.
Like you said, we can only hope 2015 will be a better year. And going forward as a country, 2015 will be a better year for Nigerian football, especially at the grassroots level. We know the stories of our clubs, really. They don't have the segments of the clubs where you get to develop footballers is not really there, even though it's on paper that all teams should have feeder teams and all that, but it's not really the case. I hope the authorities as well to do something about that, because that's the bread and butter, and that's where it really starts. That's the foundation for success. You want to achieve success in Nigerian football.
Totally agree with you, Tayo.